getting people, the fact that we've gotten people to agree on this kind of income sharing is quite radical to most of the country.
You think?
I think so, yes. It's quite radical, you know, the fact that for a couple weeks now, you know, we get a paycheck and nobody's questioning it, because honestly, it's very easy for most of our culture to rally and say, like, what is this? This is socialist, this is communism, and those have become really bad words, you know, in our culture. So the fact that all of us have many different political convictions and many different beliefs have settled on that, and that at least recently it hasn't been a point of contention, I think that's huge. And I think that's a huge example to the outside world, and that we are group-minded, you know, and that we've realized, oh, if I want more money in my account, I got to push myself to give more to the group, or push other people to give more to the group, and then it's better for everybody, you know.
I mean, I just hope that you're doing something different, because let's just say with Bree's government, people were not participating. Like, it got to the point that we were back to square one, even though we were implementing these governments. No one really participated in Bree's government. Like, it was like like dragging our feet, and that's not really, like, I feel like we're all here to do something different. Like, no matter what's, unless it's like against your moral code and it's like absolutely outrageous, I can't, I don't understand why we're not all cooperating. Because that's still very, very strong here. Yeah. And even the fact that we're all sharing funds, why aren't we all taking responsibility for all the emails? If you're on the computer and an email comes through and you see the content, why not carry out whatever that is if it's in your capacity, like RSVPing?
Well, that's something that needs to be made specific, because, to be fair, like a week ago we had a discussion about, like, well, I want to be able to respond to my own emails. Like, I don't want somebody else responding to my, you know, so I don't. It was just a confusion. It's it wasn't anybody's fault there, you know.
Well, like, it's like when my computer time's 10 a.m. and I'm not on the computer then all day long. Like, I don't understand how anyone's supposed to. And I even purposely on Friday, I went up to the computer and was like, oh, like, did any emails come in? Forgot a circle or whatever. And like, I checked and there was nothing. And then I'm not sure if I checked on Saturday. I was on the computer Saturday morning. So the other thing is, I'm not sure the timeline of when it comes through. You know what I mean? And so it was really a shame that she came all the way here and couldn't get in. But I thought, surprised that she didn't come, and I guess I was waiting for her friend's email to put them both in. But that's the thing with this, it's like nothing happens really in our control. And you know, like, obviously it was an honest mistake. Like, I expected her to come, and you know, it just makes me sad that, like, everything is so hard here. Even that's hard. Like, someone just come to an event and like, because the timing of the email replies, like, her name wasn't on the list and she couldn't get in. You know, and so like,
they're utopians. They made the cut. They're here to teach us something. Let's get that thing, even if it's a week they're here. There shouldn't be any hazing. There shouldn't be any, you know, politics. We're not better than them. We need to embrace them and find out what they came to bring us, what gifts. We don't want to waste 3 days with a bunch of childish adolescent.
Ask you to, like, you know, I was curious about your vote in the sense that, like, the night before we were cuddling, you know, we were all cuddling there with Rob and, like, you know, being sad to see him go, and then when he came back realizing he might regret it, and he was, you know, and even he said, he's like, I think times are hard, which I resonate with that. Like, there's times that, like, right now, like, the things are maybe not like where I want them to be, and with that, I kind of, so, like, I totally resonated where he was, but I could feel that, like, he did want to make this great and try something new and all that stuff. And so I guess I was just kind of curious as to, like, and knowing how he's, like, all about having fun and, like, you know, putting on the shows and the music, and, like, Rob's brought so much positivity to Utopia. I guess I was just kind of curious as to why you picked Aaron to stay.
It's funny because vote that we've done, as well as, you know, with voting for people coming in. I've tried so hard to not vote based on my emotions and to not vote subjectively. In the first vote, if I voted subjectively, like I would have voted for Bella. You know, if I was voting emotionally and kind of selfishly, I would have voted for Bella. And if I was voting more subjectively and more in this one, I did vote for Rob.
Continue, sorry.
You know, it was really, really ridiculously tough. And it was really hard for me to realize in the 3 days leading up to it, you know, I had many, many conversations with both. And I mean, even before that, and it was so hard to constantly hear Rob talk about how done he was and such negativity towards this place, and wake up in the morning just saying, what the fuck, like cursing the first thing he woke up in the morning. And then Aaron, like the whole thing is him talking about like feeling that his mission was complete, like I feel was entirely to save face because of the conversations that we had about the things that he wants to do, you know, like about the things that have inspired him here. You know, it just felt like he had more drive. And it's so hard because like with all three of those people, with Rob, Bree, and Aaron, it's not like none of them had potential. You know, it's not like if any of them had said that they would have been done or whatever, you know. And Rob at the last minute regretting it and wanting to stay, like that hurts a lot. You know, I think Hex really hit it on the head, saying that like we can't go through this emotional roller coaster anymore. You know, I want to be able to trust people at their word. And it was rough. I felt like shit, you know, and I felt like as a group we still ultimately needed somebody with more drive and with more push behind themselves. But like I said at the table, it's not what I selfishly want. You know, if it was just me calling the shots and just my utopia, Rob would be there. You know, would be there.
It's so interesting how like each of our realities are so different, because like despite you like seeing it that way, like I see it completely different. And like that's the thing, that's like I just feel like time and time again I've always referred back to it of like I have to remember like my reality isn't yours, isn't anyone else's. And so it's having to just gather that and accept where we see things. What I've just found most difficult is like we don't have a lot of the tools here for personal growth. Like at least let's say in the like I have meditation practice, but now I'm like, well, actually I want to be trying a different one, but I don't have any of those tools here with me to do that. And like even music and sound and all the other healing tools, like they're not here. And that I'm finding like more for self-practice, because that's the thing, like personal growth begins with your personal practice. It doesn't begin with anyone else. And I feel like this experience could be setting me back a little bit in terms of like my personal practice.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, because like I don't have any tools, like I don't have anything here. Like I know it's all within you, but even then it's like I'm forgetting like some of the different types of like more detailed meditation practices. And so maybe I should just go back to doing Vipassana. I don't really need anything else. Because I wasn't using Vipassana the past couple of weeks, but maybe I should go back to that, especially since we have the time. But even like the only person who's really offered me like serious reflection, I feel like is Cal. And you know, also because it's like sometimes I don't even agree with it, but because he's on this level of where he'll be super honest and he'll be a mirror, like we can still dialogue and debate about it, and I really appreciate that. Whereas like some people here aren't even self-aware. Like I know like I'm willing to say like when I'm wrong and when like maybe my perception of things are off based on where I'm at, and the people here are just you know, and I think that sometimes it can be like, so, you know, energy is contagious. And so even if you're vibrating really high, like, and other people are, you know, like, you still meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, like, I can feel those other vibrations, and it's like taking, I don't know if you've experienced the same thing.
No, I have. I don't think that it's like taking a step backwards on personal growth, because I feel it's more of a trying on endurance and on energy as far as like fuel goes. Like today I just don't have it. Like today it's worn on me.
Yeah.
You know, today the muscles are all sore. But I mean, when a species evolves, there's nothing that can happen that can make it evolve backwards, you know, that makes it devolve. Well, it's all about adaptation and moving forward, and that's how I feel personal growth is. It's not always going to be linear, you know.
Well, yeah, I think it's more cyclical. You know, actually, how I've described it is like
a spiral.
Yeah, because you dip back down to come back up.
So.
Yeah, I agree. But let's say even in Ishmael, for example, I haven't finished it, but like, and when they talk about like how if we're, as the human race, trying to control everything happens on this planet, we're preventing evolution from happening because we're not allowing things to just happen.
To run their course. Yeah.
And so how can you say, like, any situation where there's too much control can prevent evolution from happening, and that's kind of where we are right now. Like, for example, we couldn't celebrate the achievement of, like, doing that or doing that or doing that, like, on our own, because it was like there was a rush to get it done. Yeah. That's why I feel down right now, because we couldn't, as a group, get to that place together. And that's, like, huge. It's like, imagine, like, getting the A in class, but you didn't really deserve it. You didn't.
You know, what I keep hearing is just
We're here to change that.
the more I think about it, the more I realize that maybe that was.
I think it's based on character, because Rob has said really mean things. Bree says crazy things. And Aaron apparently talks a lot of smack about a lot of people. So I truly believe it was based on things that were done. Like, Bree said crazy things. And Rob is a beautiful soul, but when he has his moments, he's mean.
Yeah. It's a real bite.
And like I said, like, I know that Aaron's not going to talk, like, hear have heard him.
Grab my teeth.
Okay.